welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'll be playing some more Lies of P. Now this is an action adventure RPG which is currently a demo that's available on Steam, so if you're interested you can download that now. Just going to go through the in-game settings now. Playing at a resolution of 3840 by 2160, unlimited frame limit, no VSync. The game does support AMD Fidelity FX Super Resolution upscaling if you want. I'm not too sure what AMD Fidelity FX CAO actually does, so I'm keeping it off just in case it's some kind of dynamic scaling. I'm using the best preset, and you can also toggle each setting individually. No ray tracing available in this game either, but it's not a big deal because it's not essential. So this time I'll be using my Sapphire Nitro Plus 7900 XTX Vapor X graphics card, and I've tried my RTX 4090, I've tried my RX 7600, and now I'm going to try with the 7900 XTX. And people would say this game is optimized for AMD just because they had some promotional material. I'm not too sure how true that is. All I can say is this definitely runs very well on the 7900 XTX. You can comfortably play at 4K, as you can see. It's definitely going to give the RTX 4080 a run for its money in this game. They're probably neck and neck. So I've started to warm to this game now. The mechanics, someone was kind enough, or two people should I say, was kind enough to show me how to actually repair my weapon, because you do have to manage your weapon because it gets blunt and it also can chip and get damage while you're out fighting all these enemies. So if you don't maintain the blade, your attacks become a lot weaker and you can run the risk of actually breaking the weapon. That will actually reduce your reach and your maximum damage output as well. And it's like this little tool on his arm that kind of restores the weapon's sharpness that I'm using now, and it restores the durability as well. Graphically, I actually feel this game is pretty good as well, and it is surprisingly on the Unreal Engine 4 and has very minor frame time issues, so they've done a great job there. I didn't record that part, but when you launch the game for the first, like when you first boot the game up, it will do some shader compilation, and that definitely goes a long way. Back attack was savage. So all I'm really doing is just trying to clear this stage of all of its enemies, and then I want to try and have a crack at the boss. I've been dying to this thing far too many times, but I feel uncomfortably enough now. Uncomfortable with the mechanics of the game. I feel that I've got a good chance of killing it this time around, so I'm just going to try and just clean this area out and have a go at the boss. What the AI on this game does very well is they'll always find ways to gang up on you, even if it's from a distance. They really try and ambush you, and you really got to make sure that the target is on its own, or you can find yourself in a lot of trouble in this game. So as far as these type of soul type games go, the AI so far seem a bit more intelligent than most. One mechanic I'm not too sure about is the left arm of steel. I don't really use it, but it does do some kind of melee attack, but it doesn't seem too effective. I'm not sure if I'm using it in the right circumstance. Maybe you use it when the enemy's stunned and you do some kind of critical hit. I'm not too sure. Maybe someone that's more familiar with it can leave a comment in the comment section. These hounds are not very hard to kill, but they can gang up on you. When there's more than one, can be a problem, so you got to watch out for that. Honestly, you don't even really need such a high frame rate to enjoy a game like this. 60 FPS would probably be more than enough, but it's nice that we do actually have an uncapped frame rate. Souls games don't usually do that, so if you look at Elden Ring, you look at Dark Souls, they're all capped at 60, and I don't know if that's because of the online element, but at least 120 would be enough just to kind of give it that extra smoothness. So there's a kind of a tough enemy that runs out here, and sometimes I have trouble with this one because it's got a really strange attack pattern, so I'm just trying to take this down. It doesn't really matter if I lose a lot of health because I'm going to go back to, oh, that was first frame time spike. I don't think you'll see many, but they are still there, but they're very, very few and far in between. So what I was saying is it doesn't really matter if I lose too much health against this thing. I do intend to go back to the Stargazer, rest up, and then go and take on the boss. I just want to show you guys the layout and how the 7900 XTX performs. And so far it's definitely going to average you over 100 FPS at 4K native. If you need more than that, you could always use FSR 2.0. Still no mention of FSR 3.0 and fluid motion. I really don't know what's going on with that. AMD have become very, very tight-lipped about information regarding that feature. Maybe they're having issues with it internally, who knows, but if they really want to compete with Nvidia with this upscaling technology, that would be a welcome addition. And just to deliver on your promises, it's never nice when you sell a product, you advertise features and then you don't deliver them. I find that kind of false advertising, that's the kind of some of the worst things you can do, especially on the big stage. So hopefully they get that all sorted. The best thing they did do was not announce a I don't think they announced a deadline specifically for FSR 3, but they did have a deadline for another feature that the guy mentioned. I forgot his name now, but so AMD are on the clock, so people are going to be waiting and watching. It's interesting how the 7900X has opted to mainly utilize the non-Vcache cores, so the cores that run with higher clock speeds. Doesn't seem that this is a game that benefits really from Vcache. So if you look at the on-screen display I've got here on the top left-hand cores, I've made sure I've split the monitoring between the cores with the Vcache and the cores without, and you can see most of the utilization is on the cores without the Vcache, so you can tell it's a game that favors core speed over anything else. The utilization is pretty much the same as my i9 3900K, around 13%. You don't see much more than that, so it's very, very similar. It doesn't utilize many threads, which is why clock speed is probably important in this game. But as you can see, GPU utilization has been rock solid at 100. There's been no issues there. I'm getting ambushed here. Lost a lot of health. I'm definitely going to have to go and heal up before I fight that boss, or I wouldn't stand a chance. I think there's one more hound down there. Once I take that down, I'll pretty much go back. So this game is very much, in terms of story, it's very much like Atomic Heart in a way. You've got this kind of machine workforce that the humans have pretty much tasked to do, like everyday tasks and even specific jobs. Something's gone wrong and they've basically turned against them, the human masters, and started to kill everyone. So that's why you're seeing all of these dead bodies everywhere. It's all of the machines rebelled.
Out here alone? You could use some help. Here's a festival gift for you.
So about a few things off this merchant. So you've got this electric blitz. It basically imbues your weapon with electricity, and then you've got like this electric type grenade. This will come in handy against the boss. So I just want to make sure I have a few of these that will help me take it down, because this thing is quite, it's been giving me a lot of trouble. So I just want to make sure I have every advantage possible against it. and you just want to make sure you equip these items in your kind of quick access spot. So you've got your belts, and then you've got like another row of quick actions that you can select your items from. It's very much like Elden Ring and Dark Souls in that sense. The formula is very much the same. So if you're into those type of games, you feel you'll feel very familiar. You don't have to worry about that. It's a really easy game to pick up and play. There are a few things you need to learn in terms of mechanics, but you can pretty much get the hang of it. Anyway, I'm all rested up now. I'm just gonna go ahead. Just gonna take out the enemies that run directly in front of me, but after that I'm just gonna try and get to the boss as quickly as possible. I don't want to waste any health that I can avoid. The puppets, this is what they call the machines, puppets. So even my character, although he looks like a human, is actually a puppet as well, is actually a machine. It's not just the arm that is mechanical. And
out here alone?
I'm gonna see if I can buy anything more. I did get a few more bits of currency after killing those little minions. So I'm all stocked up now, ready to take the boss down. Want to make sure everything's ready. Just wanna sharpen my blade. Okay, let's do this. VRAM is a little bit more is a little bit higher on the 7900 XTX. I think on my 1490 I don't think I breached 6 gig, but we can see with the 7900 XTX I'm using around 7, so fairly close, fairly similar. But again, for playing a 4K native, I'd say it's done a decent job controlling the VRAM. Everyone with an 8GB GPU should be fine. I need to get out of this corner. About keeping your distance with this thing, because it can overwhelm you with attacks and you'll just quickly run out of stamina and you won't be able to defend yourself. So what I've learned is you need to be just very, very aggressive with this thing, and you can stun it. So I'm going to put more electricity on my blade this time. If you keep backing up, it will just keep attacking you and you'll eventually just get grinded down. I'm just trying to pick my moment and go all out on it. Another thing I don't like on this game, it's very hard to hit your target if you're not locked on. So if you're not locked on, then you're pretty much going to miss. Yeah, it hasn't. Probably the next hit should take it down. Finally killed this thing. Okay, so we can finally make our way to the hotel and meet Sophia, I think her name was. She was the one that was telling me that I needed to get there, so. Just make sure I'm ready for anything that may be in front of me. The way the healing works, this little vial will fill up only once it's been completely discharged while you attack enemies, and then eventually you'll recover some healing properties. So it's an interesting kind of healing system. You don't necessarily need to find green orbs like God of War. You don't need to find herbs like Dark Souls.
One more thing I should mention. The hotel's security excludes puppets like you. So you'll have to lie to get inside. You're a special puppet after all.
So I don't know if any of you guys have seen iRobot, but every time these machines have been built, they've always been hard-coded with a law that they can't lie to humans, and that's what she was mentioning. I'm special.
Welcome to the sanctuary of the Grand Covenant.
So especially in the sense that I don't always have to tell the truth.
Who are you?
So puppet would mean I'm just a machine. If I say I'm a human, it's gonna have to believe me.
Grand Covenant's fourth law.
Okay, we get to meet the lady with a mysterious voice. Hotel Kratt's going to be fun. So definitely interested in this game. Again, I've warmed to it, so I probably will pick it up. It is meant to release sometime later this year, September or something like that. So this is Sophia, huh?
I'm so happy to see you. I am Sophia. I've been waiting for you. Searched all over the city of Kratt to find you. You must have questions. Geppetto was last seen on Elysian Boulevard. All of Kratt is dangerous for humans, and that neighborhood is one of the scariest. Please find Geppetto on Elysian Boulevard. I'll explain more once you find him. Wait, take this pocket watch. Kratt is a labyrinth of peril right now. This watch will guide you to a safe place. Be careful, clever one.
Anyway guys, that is pretty much it for me. That is the Lie of P, or Lies of P, I'm not too sure. And I actually like it. I think it's an interesting game, and I like Souls-type games anyway, so looking forward to getting this when it finally releases. So thanks very much for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next video.